All right, so it's 11 a.m. already, so let's get started. So welcome everyone. So as you know, this is the Calculus 2 class after midterm. So the instructor gonna be me. So well, let me introduce myself first. My name is Monchai.K. You can call me Monchai. So this is the shortest way to call me. So today we're gonna walk you through the overview of the course after midterm. So we're gonna look at the course syllabus and our schedule and how we're gonna learn again. So, well, I just want you to be open-minded today. So what are we going to talk today is the format of the class after midterm. All right, so usually I'm gonna, start the class at 11:05. I love to wait 5 minutes, for people to get into the class. And for Wednesday in our class, I usually teach 15 minutes first and break for 15 minutes, and then we come back on the second hour. So this is the format that I usually do because I know that learn math is not easy. You need to use brain a lot, and it is nicer to give you a break. When you have 2-hour classes. Well, again, for those of you who just come into the class here. So my name is Monchai. So I am your instructor after midterm here. And now if you want to see my face, so I open the camera on one device so you can look at my face now. So usually I do not open the camera too. So, but today is the first class, so it is good to see. All right, so the plan for today, everyone. So we're gonna start looking at the Blackboard. I already shared screen. We're gonna walk you through everything on Blackboard, and then we're gonna go to the lecture. Okay. Any questions before we get started? Anything you need to know before I walk you through this thing? All right, get ready, everyone. Okay, the first thing that I will let everyone know is that so there is no attendance checks. There's no attendance points for this class, but I love to check the attendance because I want to get into the class because when I cut the grade, I can help people. So like, for example, if you attend the class a lot and you're not good at math, but the best you can do is like 69, for example, 69 or 100, for example, but you attend class, you always, attend class, always participate with me. So I love to help people. So 69, 68 or something, or, maybe you're going to get B or B plus because I feel like, whoa, you spend a lot of time in class and you contribute a lot. So you should get something back. Well, so every time I'm going to ask you to fill in your name on the chat because I want to check the attendance. So for those of you who check in today, for those of you who are in already today, so please type your name in the chat, say something. So it will be your attendance for today. So I know you are here today. Send it in the on the public chat because it's gonna be saved to my computer automatically after the class. Well, please type something in the chat. Say hi, your name or something, so I know that you are in today. And good morning. Where we have people already. Good. Thank you, Krab. So again, I don't want to fail everyone. So I know that each person have different background in math, and each person have a different background in math. So some of you are good at math, some of you are bad at math. But well, as long as you try hardest you can, that should be fine. Yeah, I'm not going to fail you if you try hardest you can and show your attention and give the best you can. Okay, so if you don't have any questions now, so questions are welcome always in the chat, and we can open microphone too if you want to ask something. Well, if you feel like I speak too slow or I speak too fast or I have something that I could improve, let me know. So this is the well, I always like the feedback, even if good or bad feedback is going to be improved. I love to get the feedback so we can improve the class for you. All right, so, well, let's talk about Blackboard first. I know that some of you have not opened Blackboard after, the midterm exam. So it's your responsibility to check Blackboard frequently, because I am going to post my lecture notes on Blackboard, so you can download it from there. So let's start by looking at the Zoom meeting and password again. So this is our Zoom meeting and password. So this is where we're gonna meet after midterm. And next, we're gonna talk about the course syllabus. So the course syllabus that we post on the first day. So you may not know that you learn a lot already, people. So what you learn is you already learn with Ajahn Thirapong on the first midterm. You can see this is ridiculous because you have to learn 29, this is 29 objectives for this class. You already learn objective. Well, I'm gonna show you here. You already, you already learn objective number 1, which is the sequence, which is the mathematical induction. You learn objective number 1 to objective number 20 already. No, number 19. So number 1 to number 19, you already completed before midterm. Don't you believe it? It's ridiculous, right? And then, well, after midterm, you only have to learn objective number 20, objective number 21, objective number 22, up to the last objective, objective number 29. So the content after midterm gonna be, I feel like it's a little bit not that packed compared to before midterm. So what are we going to do after midterm? We're trying to teach you the calculus so you can do objective number 20 to number 29. Okay, and yeah, so let me close this thing. So we're gonna look at after midterm folder here. So, well, because we have a lot of holidays after midterms, so let me show you the tentative schedule first. So you can use this one as your guide for after midterm. So today, my plan for today is we are going to introduce ourselves, and I like to give the overview first, so you know me and I know you, I know what you want. So this is the first day, so just get up from the break. This is the overview day. And then, well, if we have time left, maybe we're gonna talk a little bit about differential equations. And then, well, Wednesday is gonna be our first formal lecture. So we're gonna learn about differential equations. And then, hold on. This is the O1. Second. This is not up to date. I'm sorry. This is not up to date. Let me fix it. Exit preview. This is not up to date, people. Let me fix it. Edit. I need to replace it by new one. Let me find a new one first. How come is this? Okay, I'm gonna upload a new one because the one that I opened, this is not up to date. So preview again. Okay, so let's look at the schedule again. So this is the update one that I just posted yesterday. So, well, today it's gonna be the overview day, and then the first lecture, the first official lecture is gonna be Wednesday, like separable equation and homogeneous equations. And then after that, next week, we're gonna start learning limit and continuity for these two function of two variables. And then after that, we're gonna learn, well, basically after that 2 or 3 weeks here, we're gonna learn differentiation. And then after that, we're gonna learn integration. You can see that we have a lot of holidays after midterm here, because we have Chakri Memorial Day on April 6th. And we also have Songkran Day on April 13th. So, well, I'm gonna tell you here that we're gonna agree together that on April 6th and April 13th, no class. So because this is the national holiday, so no class, but I'm gonna post the clip for you so you can watch on this topic, total differential and applications, and also exact differential equation, integrating factor, linear, and Bernoulli differential equation. I'm gonna post a clip for you on the holiday here. To be fair, because this is your holiday, so I'm not going to test this topic, the one that I, ask you to watch on the holiday or something. You can watch at your pace anytime you want. You can watch it, but the topic covered on this holiday, it will not be on the exam. So the exam gonna be only the one that I cover, in the live class. So this is our schedule for after midterm. So you can see that I love to cut the lecture 1 week before the exam. So we're gonna stop the lecture on April 27. This is the last day that we're gonna learn. And then 1 week before the exam, we are going to do the review, just do the O exam, just trying to make sure that you are ready for the exam, because the final exam is going to be 50%. And that is, gonna be your hardest week again for this semester. Okay, this is our agenda for after midterm. So does it make sense? Anyone, any questions on this thing already? All good? All right, so, well, the handout is here. You can download the handout here. Differential equations.pdf. This is the first handout. And then, well, some of you may have a question about the recorded lecture. So I create the YouTube channel. So I'm gonna post the clip after, we have a live class. So the recorded lecture is gonna be posted on my YouTube channel. So you can click at this playlist. So it's gonna link you to the, the playlist for this class. So as some of you know already that I also taught BBTECH last year. So we have this class from BBTECH last year too. If you want to look at how I taught last year, so you can look at it too. But it's gonna be a little bit different this year. So don't rely on the video on the last year. But it's good resources that you can do. So you can ask, your how do I say? You can ask your friend or you see your senior or someone who already learned with me that my style is like I love to teach slowly, and I love to ask on the exam the thing that I only teach in class. So do not expect to see hard questions or something outside the lecture slide. Well, so we're gonna look at the differential equations lecture here in a little bit. So I'm gonna switch my device to iPad. So anyone have any questions so far? So far, so good? All right. So far, so good,นะครับ. Okay, we have about 32 students. Good, thank you. So we're gonna stop share this thing. And we need to share that thing. You hear me? You hear that? Okay. Seems like my microphone is off. Okay. All right, if you download the lecture, so this is our lecture 01, differential equations. So I'm gonna send it in the chat too, because some of you probably need it in the chat. It's a lot easier that way. Give me 1 second. Well, my intention today, I do not want to give a lecture because, today is the first day that you just get up from the midterm exam. So I want you to take a rest, just fully recover from the exam first. So the content today will not be hard. It's gonna be just a simple one. Let me find the handout for you. Okay. Okay. Well, I also send the lecture slide in the chat. So if you need one, you can grab it in the chat too. All right, so one more time, let me talk about myself. So this is the first slide. So this is the Calculus 2 section 57 for BBTECH student. So we're gonna meet on Monday and Wednesday at the same time as before midterm. And this is our Zoom meeting. So this is me. Well, Monchai.K, that is my name. So about my background, some of you may be interested, so I will just give a short brief of me. So I did a doctoral degree in math. Well, actually applied math and statistics. So actually my specialized area is statistics. So, but everyone who learn math, applied math and statistics, you need to learn calculus. So I was assigned to teach you a calculus for this class, but we have a higher chance to see each other again next year when you learn statistics. So basically what I did in my PhD, and nowadays too, I am doing something on biostatistics. So I love to see people mix the idea between mathematics and biology. Oh, that is what I like, So when I was a kid like you, so I love math a lot. Well, to be honest, I hate biology when I was a kid like you. So I don't know anything about biology. So I learned and I just passed with C or C plus. I feel like this is not my thing. But when I went to America, I studied PhD in statistics. So my professor was like, "Oh, Monchai, you need to apply it with the thing to the real world." And she gave me the topic on biostatistics. That forced me to learn biology 101 again. I was like blank, and at at that time I was like 24 or 25 years old or something. I have to learn biology 101 again because the professor asked me, "Hey Monchai, what is DNA?" I was like, "I don't know what DNA is. I know DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, ATGC, but well, in terms of some deeper details, I don't know anything." So I have to go back and learn biology again. And what surprised me is I can learn it fast because in my undergrad studies, I already learned biology one time, which I feel like I know nothing about it. But when you grow up and you need to use it again, it's fully recovered. It's like you can pick up the content very quick because you already seen it one time. Well, this is what I want to tell you. What I want to tell you is, well, today you may have a hard time to learn calculus. That Ajahn, this is so hard. I hate math. I hate calculus. Well, please be open mind first. Well, you don't have to know everything about this class because this is not your major area. It's okay. You just see it one time in your life first. But you maybe in 5 years or 6 years after today, when you grow up and then you graduate, you work for some big company, and they ask you again to do some problem about math, and you say, "Oh, this is calculus. I used to learn this." In the future you may need calculus. Who knows? So we're gonna give you a basic background for this class first, and 6 years later, or maybe 10 years later, so you can come back and do a quick review in calculus. And trust me, you will just pick up it very quick because you learn it already one time. Like me, my background is math, and then I can pick up the biology concept quickly because I learned it already one time when I was a freshman like you. This is what I want you to keep in mind, that please be open mind and don't think that math is just like the terrible thing. So do the best you can. So I'm not going to fail you if you do the best you can. So I know this is not your field. So I know this is not your specialized area. So if you try best, I will give you best grade too. Well, you do not need to care the point before midterm. You know, if you get like 30 out of 50 from a gen group, you could still get A. Well, last semester, I mean last year, well, some of you get 29 or 27 on the first half, but you still get A. You know, if you participate, if you contribute a lot, if you show your attention, why not? Right? It's like, yeah, you should get something if you contribute or you know, push very hard on this thing. All right. My office hours. Well, I talk a lot, huh? So my office hours. So it's by appointment. Usually we learn in schools, in university. So we have office hour, but now everything is online. So you can make an appointment with me via email. So reach me on the email, and well, we can chat and talk about the content that you do not understand. So always email me if you have questions. So I'm always happy to help. Well, this is my job, so I need to serve you the best I can. So if you email me, ask for help, I'm gonna help you 100% because it's like my job. This is in my job description. I need to help you, and I'm happy to help you. Okay. The course website is Blackboard. Okay, recorded video. You can go to my YouTube channel as I told you, so you can follow here. One thing is that you need to attend the live class too, because you know some of you have a bad idea that, oh, because I'm gonna post the recorded lecture anyway, so I'm gonna watch the video. So you're not going to learn a lot from the lecture video. I told you, because people are gonna pay more attention. Well, there was a study that students are gonna pay more attention on the live class, because on the video class, it's very easy to get distracted. I am not sure you agree with me, but well, as you know, my experience, so I feel the same way. If someone asks you to watch a clip by yourself, it's gonna be like, I get distracted easily because this is not the content you are like fully interested in. So it's gonna be a much more easier if you attend the live class and listen to it one time first. And if you have something that you do not understand, you can rewatch the clip later. It is not necessary that you have to rewatch the clip. If you understand it from the class already, good, you're good to go. Okay. Here, this is the picture that we're gonna cover after midterm. So I want to give a big picture for you first. So what are we going to learn after midterm? It's not going to be series and sequence again, yay! And it's not going to be the three-dimensional vector space again. After midterm, what are we going to learn? We're going to learn something called differential equations. Well, you may have heard about this word. So differential equation, this is going to be the thing that people use to describe some phenomenon in the real world. So in physics, in chemistry, in biology, physics, chemistry, biology, most of the time you want to make it more, more theoretical. You have to write the equation. And when you write the equation, you want the equation that can describe a lot of things in one equation. So you probably want to put x in there. You will probably want to put y in there. You also probably want to put rate of change in there, which is dy by dx. Well, this is how we describe the nature in mathematics. This is what we're going to learn for the first week, differential equations, okay? And then after that, we're gonna learn the function of two variables. So this is the case that, well, let me tell you here. In calculus 1 with Ajahn Ratinan and Ajahn Cook, you always work with fx. Fx is like a function. And Ajahn teach you how to find limit fx, which you feel like, oh, I already forgot,ครับ. Yeah, you can find limit. And then you learn how to compute the derivative, which is f prime x. Good. And you also learn how to find the integration, integrate fx dx from a to b. Yeah. So this is in Cal 1. You learn how to do limit, you learn how to do differentiation, and you learn how to do integration. But in real life, it is not just fx, right? What if you do the experiment, like you are in the biotechnology field, for example, you do the experiment, you collect the data, and then you feel like you want to collect the temperature of this thing, and you also want to collect the reaction time of this thing. So it's going to be more than one variable. So it's not just temperature now. You want to look at temperature and you want to look at the reaction time at the same time. What would you do? So for sure, in real life, you're going to see something more complicated because you can see fxy. It's going to be two variables simultaneously at the same time, which means you need to extend the idea from fx to fxy. So it's going to be from one variable to two variable. And once you extend it to two variable, we're going to we're going to look at this thing again. If you extend it into variable, how would you define the limit? How would you differentiate it? And how would you integrate it? We're going to spend about, the whole class, 7 weeks to talk about differentiation and integration for two function of two variables. Does it make sense? So we're going to look at how do we define the derivative when we have both x and y. Before you can, diff is easy, diff x squared is 2x. But what if you have fxy equal to 2xy? How do you say that you're going to differentiate? Well, it's going to be differentiate. Well, in the future, you're going to learn, differentiate going to be differentiate with respect to x or differentiate with respect to y. You have to specify which direction. Well, don't be scared. It's going to be okay. Well, I'm going to go slowly and give you one thing, one at a time. And at the end of the class, you should be good. Well, you don't have to be expert on everything, but the basic technique you need to know. All right. So, when we learn differentiation, so we have to learn limit too. So it's going to be the limit first, and then we're going to learn differentiation after. So, and the thing that you learn from calculus 1, we're going to look at do all formulas and the chain rule that we learned in Cal 1 still work. So we're going to look at, hey, the thing that we learned in calculus 1, Ajahn, we used to learn that differentiate x to the n. It's going to be nx to the n minus 1. Everyone know this, from Cal 1. It's easy one. So in calculus 2, does it work? That is still work? We're going to learn in this class. And then, because you have x and y now, it's going to be a little bit confusing, right? And then for the chain rule as well, does it work? After that, we're going to look at the integration. So, some notation that make you scary. Some notation like, when you have two function of two variable fx, y. Well, before you can integrate just like fx dx here. But this time, you're going to integrate with respect to x one time. You integrate with respect to y one time. So the notation that you're going to see, it's going to be like integrate 2 times. Like this is called double integral. We're going to learn how to do the double integral when you have to integrate 2 times. Well, the notation make you like, this is so scary, Ajahn. This is so scary. But we're going to learn step by step how to do it. Because this is not hard at all. Well, when you do the double integration, so you just need to draw the picture. You need to find the area of x and y with respect to the problem that you are trying to solve first, and then you're going to integrate it. We're going to just do the basic differentiation and integration in 2 dimensions. This is the the content after midterm. If you feel like you are not good at integration technique in Cal 1, like in Cal 1, you may remember that you learned something called integration by parts, trigonometric substitution, or something that is very hard, something that you feel like, it's like partial fraction or something. We are not going to learn integration technique, okay? We are not going to learn integration technique for this class. The technique that we're going to learn is just the basic technique. all you need to care is integrate x to the n, and something like 1 over x, something like sine x, cosine x, e to the x. If you know all of this, know how to differentiate and integrate the basic one, you should be good. We are not going to ask you to do by parts or some harder technique, because this is Cal 2. The technique of integration is not the point. The point is just learn how to do integrate into dimensions. Okay. All right. So any question on the big picture that we are going to cover after midterm, crap? So far, so good, everyone. If you feel like so far, so good, you can add the reaction for me. Put the thumbs up or something, So yeah, thank you. Well, I see it's good. All good. I'm trying not to learn today. Thank you, Kap. Okay, so this is the tentative schedule. Again, today I'm not trying to give you a lecture. I'm trying to, give you the overview. And Wednesday, it's gonna be our first official lecture. Okay, Wednesday, everyone. On Wednesday, it's gonna be our first official lecture. And as I told you that we have so many holidays, as you see, at the end, you're gonna have your final exam here, which is cost you 50%. Don't give up now, because usually we say 80% is A, but everything can change. If the score for the whole class is very low, like, maybe for Ajahn Guk part, the score is a little bit low, I can adjust it. Maybe 75 you're gonna get A, maybe 70 you're gonna get A. It depends. It depends now. Well, so don't give up. If you feel like before midterm you saw your score and you feel like, oh, Ajahn, I only get 26 out of 50. I only get 17 out of 50. Am I going to pass? Don't give up. Well, the scale can be cheap, but before we said 80 is A, but yeah, if you get 80 and above, you should get A. But you never know, because sometimes when it's come to the end, maybe the exam is too hard, so I have to shift a little bit, curve it to help you, and then you get a good grade. For example, for those of you who are worried about if you're gonna pass the class or not, because you feel like the midterm score is so low and you feel like you only get like something like 8 out of 50, you feel like, oh, I'm gonna pass it or not. Well, try to do the best you can. Your goal is 30%. If you pass 30% for sure, I'm not going to fail you. But if you don't pass 30%, like if you feel like at the end you get 25%, out of 100 or 26, 27 or something, maybe I'm not sure you're gonna pass or not, because it's like it depends on how the class do. If everyone like pass 30% easily and you are the only one who drop below 50, below 30, sorry, it's gonna be hard to help you. But yeah, it depends, but do your best. If you attend class a lot, show your work, show your attention. Well, I have a record for it and I can fight it for you when I go to the meeting. When you have the meeting for the grade, you're gonna just have the committee. So I can tell the committee that, hey, this student, he attend class, she attend class, she's a good student, she just don't like math. Well, maybe we're gonna help you and you're gonna pass. Well, show your attention. That is the best thing. So we have a record for you, and do the best. The exam is not the end of the world. This is how people test in this world. But as personally, I don't like the exams too, because I'm not good at the exam. When I learn as a student, I'm not good at the exam. I get a lot of C+, a lot of B's in my undergrad study, because on the exam day, well, I don't feel very good to do it because I feel like there's so much pressure or something. Well, it's fine. I have a lot of C+, and well, I can still graduate, and I, have a job today, work. It's like the grade is just the grade. Well, once you get it, you pass, well, that's fine. If you get a good grade, well, that's your bonus. But if you get average grade, it's fine, totally fine. So when you look for the job, people gonna judge you from the personal statement, not the GPACs. Well, that's my experience. All right. Well, what to expect on the final exam? So as I told you, the topic some topic we are not going to cover on the final exam. So this is a little bit different, okay? If you have friends from engineering department or you have friends from the SAT department, well, we learn differently because the topic that I'm gonna cover here, it's only this part. So the topic here, the one that I type in red here, we are not going to cover on the exam because this topic gonna be the one that I asked you to watch the clip on the holiday. So to be fair, so I'm not going to test you something that I asked you to watch on the holiday. Does it make sense? So the thing that I test you here, this is going to be the one that I teach in class. Only the one that I teach in class is the one that I ask you to do on the final exams. Because this thing, well, it is mandatory that you need to learn this thing because it is in the syllabus. I cannot skip it. Well, this is the content that you need to learn. So, but because if you count the hours after midterm, well, we have Chakri Day, Songkran, and actually Labor Day, and I don't know how to call this thing, the coronation of King Maha Vajiralongkorn is like the Push Mongkon in Thai or something. Well, we have so many holidays here. So if you count, it's only 17 hours after midterm, which is too low. Because on the course syllabus, we say that you have to learn 24 hours at least after midterm, but this is only 17 hours. So on the day that we miss because of the holiday, I'm gonna ask you to watch a clip, but the content in the clip will not be on the exam. Fair to you and fair to me too. Make sense? And here, this is a topic that we're gonna cover on the exam, and 18% gonna be finding the limit and differentiate in two dimensions. 25% gonna be double integral. So integration is important, You're gonna see it a lot, integration, double integral. So you're gonna learn how to evaluate this thing. Integrate fxy, dx, dy, something like that. This is 25% of your exam, and 18% gonna be the one that you learn how to do the, you have fxy. This time you're gonna differentiate with respect to x and differentiate with respect to y. So you're gonna learn how to do it. That we're gonna differentiate with respect to x and with respect to y. That is 18%. And the content for this week, differential equation, is gonna be only 7% because we're gonna teach only 1 week for separable equations and differential equations. Sounds good? This is what to expect on the final exam. So on Wednesday, we're gonna start by looking at the differential equations here. So we're gonna start slide number 6 on, well, actually number 5 too. We're gonna start lecture slide number 5 and slide number 6 and so on Wednesday. So that is our plan. Okay, and we're gonna finish this hangout on Wednesday. And next week, we're gonna start with and continuity if possible. Well, any questions, Kap? You feel good so far? All right, so I keep saying, okay, any questions? Okay, if you don't have any question, let me give you a big, well, stay with me 5 more minutes and then we're gonna end the class, okay? So I'm gonna show you the differential equations because the topic that we're gonna learn on Wednesday, this is called a differential equations. So some of you may have a hard time. What is a differential equation? So let me give you a big review here. I'm gonna share screen here. So let's go back to, well, let's see. You see my screen now? All right, good. Let me trying to do Google. Okay, and let me find like the differential equations. If you see the differential equations in Wikipedia, you're gonna see that what are we going to learn on Wednesday? It's called differential equation, which is going to be the equation that relates one or more unknown function and its derivative and their derivatives. Here, this is the definition of differential equations. So you can see that in size, you can make that equation something like this is also called the differential equations. It's look weird, but this is how people describe it in the describe the phenomenon in the real world. And for example, here this is all differential equations. This is, you can see that here we have du by dx equal to cu plus x squared. This is one differential equation. This is du by dx, differentiate 2 times minus x du by dx plus u equal to 0. This is also differential equations. So people use this equation to explain things in the real world. If you don't trust me, let's Google heat equation. Okay, heat equation. This is the world that, this is the equation that people use to describe the heat transfer. Engineering people are gonna do this. So heat equation. This is the equation for the heat equation. Looks very odd, but yeah, this is one differential equation. This is called heat equation. Some of you may have to use it if you work in engineering field. Well, maybe let's look at Black-Scholes equations. Black-Scholes models. So this is also differential equations. Well, let me check. Here, this is the Black-Scholes differential equations. This is the equation that people use to describe the stock. Some of you, when you're trying to do the set 50 thing, or the NASDAQ or the Dow Jones or S&P, something like that. Well, people trying to describe the behavior of the stock, and the stock thing. Well, let me trying to draw something for you. How do I put the notated thing a draw? Okay, so the stock market, when you look at the stock market graph, you can see that it's going to be up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Up and down, up and down. This is the behavior of the stock market. And you can see that the stock market, it's super hard that you're going to get the function y equal to x squared, y equal to x cubed, y equal to x plus 1 to explain the stock market. Because the stock market is like incredibly hard to predict the stock market. Well, the equation that used to predict the stock market is this one. This is called the Black-Scholes equations. And Black-Scholes equation is the one that is the partial differential equations. In economics, people also use differential equations. In engineering, of course, yes. In biology, of course, yes. In chemistry, of course, yes. When you want to explain some thing in the nature, you always explain by using differential equations. We are not going to learn every single differential equation in this world. We're gonna just give you the basic idea of differential equation. Does it make sense? So do not expect me to give you all technique that you're gonna solve this differential equation. No, we're not going to learn something like that in this class. What are we going to learn? We are going to look at the very basic case. At least you know what it is and how to solve it for the basic case. That's all you need for this class. Well, what I show you, this is the extreme example. Black-Scholes equation is the extreme example. Okay. Make sense? All right. Well, I think it's about the time now, 11:47. If you don't have any questions, I'm gonna stop the class soon. If you don't have any questions? Suchanan, well, I'm trying to call your name. Questions? Bunchakan, oh yeah. I need to learn your names. All right, if you don't have any questions, so thank you for attending today and hope to see you on Wednesday, okay? Hope to see you on Wednesday. Well, thank you for attending today.